Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. Let's see, today is Wednesday that I'm filming this. It's turning out that that's kind of looking like my filming days apparently. I hope that your guys' week has been great. I hope your weekend was fantastic. I know I posted a video today that was filmed last week, and I have another video coming out tomorrow on Thursday, the 12th, that was also filmed last week. I'm a little behind on my posting schedule, but getting caught up. So I just wanted to check in with you guys, see how your week has been. Did you guys do anything fun? Let me know if your summer has had anything fun in it quite yet. Have you done like concerts, camping trips? Have you gone boating to the lake on vacation? What have you guys done? Let me know in the comments. We have not done anything really that is for personal pleasure. We've done a lot of traveling for wedding related things. My fiance and I have. We went to Wyoming over the weekend to work on our flowers with his aunt and uncle and got a lot of work done. So that was fantastic. I'm so happy to have a lot of that done. The only thing I have left is a little bit more of the last half of our wedding aisle jar things that are going to be in our ceremony. So like along the aisle, so like here's your aisle, there's chairs on each side. We'll have shepherd's hooks with mason jars hanging from them with little bundles of flowers. Not really flowers, it's mostly like pampas grass and things like that, but I could not do all of them because I ran out of a couple different kinds of the pampas grass. So I had to order some more, and that should be here maybe by the end of the week, if not beginning of next week. I just ordered it off of Temu, and it actually is shipping from somewhere in the United States, so it should be here soon. I am trying out, I got a new microphone, so it's an external microphone. I am trying it out because it is hot, and it's like 90 degrees today. And where I film at my kitchen table, is literally right next to our air conditioner, and I have a fan right below me. So I'm hoping that the external mic will block out some of that sound. I also have doors open. I have our front door open. We have like a glass screen door. So we have two different doors on our front door. So I have the inside door open and the outside door shut so that I can get some good natural light in here. And then our back door is currently open. I know that that kind of doesn't help with the heat, and we are very well aware of that, but we do have a dog, and while the weather is nice, we like to let her go in and out as she pleases. Because when it's winter, it gets very, very cold here, and she is not able to be outside because she is a short-haired, she is short-haired, but she does not have an undercoat. So we try to let her be out while it's nice if we can. And holy cow, that was the biggest ramble on the planet. Today we are going to be doing a closeout for, we're going to be closing out the month of May. So summarizing all of our income for the month and figuring out where that extra money needs to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip over. We don't need these 2 pages. This was our monthly overview. I'm going to scooch my calculator for right now. We'll bring that back in just a moment. So first off, we have our monthly budget page. This is I'm going to just stack these so it's easier. So all of our income here is listed at the top. I did write in all of Tanner's checks because I had to check our bank account for those, and I film on my camera, so I wrote in all of those. My unemployment was the expected $593, and I did have 6 of them. So my unemployment was the expected $35.58. Scooch that back off to the side. And then my Spark income, this is where the fun comes in because I made way more in Spark than I planned on. So in Spark, I expected $2,023, and I actually made $3,207.51 over the course of the month of May. So total, we have Tanner made $1,334.74 in his first check, $1,336.51 in his second check, $1,336.87 in his third check, and then I made $3,558 from unemployment and $3,207.51 from Spark. So total for the month of May, we have $10,773.63 to work with. So after I know my total income, I move down and I fill in the actual amounts for all of our bills, subscriptions, debt, variables, all of our savings, everything like that. So let's just go ahead and work from top to bottom, and then we'll scooch over and do top to bottom here. So our internet was $240. My car is $526.60. I guess I do need my calculator, so let's see if that'll fit here. That should be mostly in frame. I can't see my, where I have my phone at, I can't see it to figure out if it's in frame or not, but I believe that that should be. So it was $526.60, and I paid that twice in the month of May. So we actually paid $1,053.20. Our Verizon bill, let's see here. The first bill was, I believe it was $222.65 both times. Yes, it was the same both times. So we'll just times that by 2. So $445.30. Our bill did go up a little bit. That is because within our Verizon bill, that's our phone bill, one of our TV subscriptions is actually paid through our phone bill. So our Disney Plus is paid with that. And that membership went up a little bit this month. So that's why it was a little higher. But that's totally fine because there were other bills that ended up being a little bit lower. And Tanner made more money than we expected. Our State Farm bill was a little lower. It was $287.92. And then Delta Dental, that is my dental insurance, was $42.40. And electric is one that was way lower than expected, so that kind of helps to make up for our phone bill being higher. Our electric bill was $105.19 this month. And spoiler alert, I did get that bill for June, and it's even less than that for June, but I can almost guarantee that it's going to go way up for the month of July. So we will just enjoy it while it lasts for the low bills. We usually only have maybe 2 to 3 months in the summer that are really high, and then 2 to 3 months in the winter that are really high, and then the rest of the month is the rest of the year is relatively low, between like 90 and 120, somewhere in there. Let's see. And then we have Tanner's car was $874.75. And our water bill was $56.74. That one does vary as well, but it's usually right around 56, 57, somewhere in there. It might be a little bit higher next month. Actually, I did get our bill for June. I think it's about 57, and then I think in July it might be a little bit higher, if I had to guess, just because of watering the lawn and watering our little, I say garden, but really all I have is 2 tomato plants and a pot of flowers. So that's that. Our rent was $875 even. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and do the actuals for everything. So Netflix, or not Netflix, gosh, I can't read. HBO was $33.98. We paid that twice. All these ones with the asterisks, we had to pay those bills twice this month just because of how the dates fell. Netflix was a little bit higher because I just didn't, I thought that the increase was less than it was when our bill went up, but it's $53.96. We paid that twice. PlayStation was $35.98 to pay that twice. Cricket was $19.98. And Peacock only ended up being $3.98 because I'm on a deal right now where it's $1.99. I think I have 6 months of it being $1.99. It's either 3 or 6 months. I don't remember. Okay, so moving down, the gym was $55. Gravel was $10.99. And Gravel is my subscription that I have for workouts at the gym. It generates workouts for me. Canva was $12.99. YouTube was $10.99. Spotify is $11.99. Amazon Prime is $14.99. And our SiriusXM was $35.98. Moving up to our debt, we have $70.48 was the total for our Upstart one. I think the bill is like $35.20 something. We paid it twice, so $35.24 is the total bill for 1 month, but we paid it twice just because of due dates again. OneMain is one of my other loans, and that was $340. That is not the monthly payment. The monthly payment is $170. For my second Upstart loan, we paid $155.38. I'm sorry if I'm kind of rushing through this as well. I have quite a few things that I'd like to do in this video, so I'm trying to get through everything so it doesn't end up being super, super long. My second best egg loan is not 165. Shoot. Let me grab whiteout really quickly. Okay, so best egg 2 was $330. It is $165 normally, but that was the last debt payment that we had to pay twice. And then First Mark, that is my student loans, that was $708.19. And then my first best egg loan was $100. US Bank was $82. And then Aidvantage was $107.78. So total for gas, that one looks a little bit different. Gas, groceries, and eating out, these are variable expenses, meaning the amount that we spend week to week and month to month is different. It's not ever the exact same like our bills. Let me grab my little sheet that I had from my Spark income because that did have gas. I do budget for gas in Spark because I'm driving my car more. I don't actually know where my sheet is. Well, regardless, so how it calculated out was the $3,207.51. I did 10% of that. Oh. So that equaled out to $320.75. And then I also included $150 from our normal budget. So that's where I get our total from. So $470.75 was how much I put towards gas for the month of May. I keep wanting to say June because we're technically in June. For groceries, we did the normal $1,200, and then we did do $120 for eating out. So now what I'm going to do is total up each of these sections so I can figure out how much we have left going into our sinking funds and wedding categories. And I'm going to speed through that so that you guys don't have to just listen to my calculator. So the total for our bills section is $3,000. $980.50. And we'll move into our subscriptions next. And the total for our subscriptions is $381. And then our debt, total for debt is $1,893.83. And then lastly, for our variables, we have $1,790.75. So now I'm going to subtract out each of these categories from this total $10,773. So we will do 63 cents minus 3,980.50 cents leaves us with 6793.13. And then we'll take out the 381, leaves us with 6,492.32. And then we take out 1,893.83 cents. Leaves us with 4,598.49 cents. And then we take out 1,790.75 cents. Leaves us with, sorry, I'm very tight on space. Leaves us with $2,807.74. So this $2,807.74 is what we have left to put into our savings categories. So for those, maybe I can scooch this and do my calculator up there. I'm going to set my cash tray off to the side for right now. We will use my cash tray in a little bit, but for right now, I'm just going to set it off to the side so that I have a little bit more room to write. So these are all of our budgeted amounts that we expected to be able to save this month for each category. But now we need to go in and fill out how much we actually did save. So we did not put anything towards beef. For business, we actually put in 81. For clothes, we did the 190.75. For date night, we actually did 165.13. For emergency, we didn't do anything, and same for household. Taxes, we were able to do $883.43. Toiletries, we did not do anything. Travel, we actually put 50. And then car maintenance, we did $320.75. And then for low priority over on the right, we actually did 42 for electronics. And then we did not do anything for furniture, hosting, or Sam's Club. For self-care, we did 129. And then for each of our spending categories, we did 40. So myself and Tanner is spending money. We didn't put anything in any of our holidays. So those are all 0. And then we did not put anything in Christmas. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some totals here. So that is $1,691.06. And then for low priority, we have $251. So now what we'll do is we'll take the $2,807.74 and we'll subtract out the $1,691.06. That leaves us with $1,166.80, right? Nope, I can't read. 68 cents, not 80 cents, goodness. And then we'll take out 251, and that leaves us with 865.68, and that total is going to be the same for both of these since we did not stuff anything. So then we come to the other side, we flip the page over. Our medical funds, we did not put anything in deductible or copays or pharmacy. In vitamins, we put 56 instead of 33. In optical and dental, we put 0, same with supplements. And then in over-the-counter, we put 8. So that total is 64. And then in our pet fund, we did not put anything there. And then our month ahead, we also did not put anything there. And then for the wedding, this is pretty fun. We did not put anything in stationery. In vendors, we put 81. Tips did not get anything, neither did favors. Bride got 85, like expected. Groom got 5 as expected. Miscellaneous did not get anything. Gifts got $433 and 88 cents. Decor got 0. The shower actually got 62. Whoops. As I say 62 and write 63. Goodness gracious. The honeymoon did not get anything. And then food got 135. We were able to make a pretty good dent in our wedding categories this month, getting stuff paid off. So let's go ahead and grab a total for that section here. That was 801.88. Isn't that crazy, you guys? We budgeted $505 to go into wedding, and I was able to put almost an extra $300. That's insane to me. On the last page, the only thing we have is first home and future baby, and we did not stuff anything in those categories. To figure out all of these extra amounts, like what was left over, I will try to film that for June, but for this month, it was the way that I did my weekly stuffings. I should not have added extra income until the very end like I normally do, but like our spending money and things like that, I wanted to give us that throughout the month. I am going to try not to do that for June. It just was such a mess going through the page and trying to figure out what needed to be added where. So I'm just going to stick to budget for June, and then at the end we'll do all of the extra instead of trying to accommodate for extra throughout the month. I'm so sorry that I was not able to do that for this month, but next month you guys should be able to get to see everything. So we have 865.68. That's what was left here. We're going to come over to this page and we'll take out 64. And we are off by like 20 cents, and I'm pretty sure that's just a math error because when I did my math the first time, it ended up being exactly right. So I'm not super concerned about that 20 cents, but I'll write it as a negative just because. So we are technically zeroed out. If I showed you my other sheet that had my notes on it, you would see that it was zeroed out. I can guarantee that it was just, I pushed a wrong button on our math. It probably happened, I think it happened somewhere in here. Oops, because this on my notes sheet should have been 69 cents. So it was probably somewhere in one of these three sections. But that's our closeout for the month. So we ended up zeroing out our budget. I can kind of show you. I went through and added in to my expense tracker. Here, I can just show you guys. Oh, I lost a bunch of papers out of that one. That is okay. So this is one of my expense tracking binders. Every single category that I have has a tracker, so I know what the actual balance is. I track a buffer for each category. So I went through and I added in all of my deposits that I did actually today. Today is the 11th. So I went through and added in all of those, that anything that was left over. I calculated that based off of how much extra Spark income I had. So that's where that all came from. And then after I did that, I went through and made a list of everything that I needed to accommodate for returning money to the bank. Instead of doing a cash stuffing for those last few categories and then pulling it back out, I'm not going to unstuff all of this, but I am going to go through and make sure that my balances in my account or in my binders match what's in here, to kind of accommodate for the money that needs to be pulled out. And then if there's any categories that needs to have money put in, I will add that in as well. So we'll just start off. I'm not going to do my wallet categories because I don't have my wallet in here. So we will just skip straight to beef. That's where we're at. I will just leave this book open right here, and I'm going to grab my cash tray. I'll set that back off to the side, and I'm going to grab my cash tray again so I can use that. Okay, so let's, goodness. So let's go ahead and go through my binders. So beef should have 5, which it does. And then business should be at 0. So this, it technically is negative as a balance, but over on the side, I write what the current cash balance should be. So as I deposit, I go through and I pay transactions that I'm able to pay with the cash that I have. So I should be empty, which I am. You'll see that for a lot, and that's just because we got very behind in things when I got laid off from my job last February. So for clothes, I should be at 14, and I think I only have 13, so I might need to hold off on this one. Yep, so I'll need to add $1 to clothes instead of having 13. Date night should only have 47, which I don't think I'll be able to do because I don't have change, but I'll just pull the 20s out for right now, and I'll leave the 50 and make change for that once I have it, just so I have a little bit of cash to work with. Emergency is empty. Household is the last deposit I made, left me empty as well. The gym, I actually am going to pull this cash out because our gym payment comes out tomorrow on Thursday. So I'm going to pull that one out, and we'll start fresh or actually it comes out on Friday, but we'll start fresh for June or for the next quarter. So household was empty, and then taxes is one that I'm actually going to pull money out to put into our high yield savings account, and I'm going to update my placeholders in here. So right now I have 300, but really my balance, I think I did my amount wrong. So give me just one quick second. 883.43. Let me just make sure. $50. So I think that I should only have added 544.43. And then so we'll go down, and that will be 96 cents in my buffer because I took that 43 cents and added it to the current 53 cents. And then the 1009 is 1553. So I should have, I'm going to end up taking out, I'll have 1,500 in the bank. So I'll take those placeholders out. I'll actually just set them back there. I'm going to have to grab my placeholders. I don't actually know where they are. Oh, I see them. Okay, I'll have to grab them. But regardless, I should be left with $53 left in the envelope. So I'm going to take out this 62 and take that to the bank, and it will all work out with the extra money that's in our account. It'll all even out. Let me go grab my placeholders really quickly, and I will be back. Okay, so I don't have any more $1,000 placeholders. I just have $500 ones, so I will just do 3 of those. So we have $1,553 in the envelope. So that's where we're at with taxes. The reason that it's so high is because I did get my my refund from Colorado. I'm going to need to pay a good chunk of this, but I'm going to do it in a payment plan with the IRS because I owe for federal for this year, or for last year's taxes, I guess. So that's kind of that. Let me go back to date night now and see if I can make, nope, I can't quite make change yet. So we'll have to hang tight with that. I can put the 1 into clothes that I need though. So I'm going to do that. That has 14. Emergency, gym, household. Okay, so we did taxes. Toiletries is good at 28. And then travel, I actually am going to need to add money to. I should be at 23, and I believe I only have 3 in here right now. So yes, so we'll add a 20. So now we have 23. And travel, and there we go. High priority is all finished up. Then we will move to low priority, so camping. I don't even have an envelope for camping yet. I need to make one. Electronics is empty as it should be. Same with furniture and hosting. Sam's Club should have 14, and I believe it does. I just need to condense it a little bit. Yep. So we'll just take the 5s out and we'll do a 10. So 14 is where we're at for Sam's Club. You guys are getting a very fully transparent view of our finances right now. Self-care should be empty. So I'm actually going to take out all of this cash. And then my spending, I had a couple of charges come out that I just need to unstuff. So I had a $9 charge at the Ruby. We'll do 14 and take back 5 because, yeah. And then we'll end up just taking the 5. So Tanner and I bought this. There was a game that we both really liked to play together that was on the PlayStation Premium. And then they took it off of PlayStation Premium, but it came on sale for like $10. So we just decided to split that game, and it was $5 each. So we'll have to unstuff his $5 as well. And then he has another $5 charge that I'll have to take out. So I need to condense him as well. So he's just going to end up at 104, I believe. 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, so he'll end up at 104. And I'm just going to condense him into a 100. and 4 ones. Let's do that one. And then we'll put all of this back. Okay, so he is good at 104. And that is actually it for low priority. Nothing was spent in holidays, although I think I didn't do this on my tracker, but for Memorial Day, we did not spend anything. So I'm going to just move this to 4th of July. We have Tanner lost his cousin a few years ago. This will be 4 years ago in a dirt bike accident. And there's a memorial ride for him in town that weekend, and his uncle will be here. So we'll probably do something fun for 4th of July. So I'm just going to move that 25 into 4th of July, and I'm going to account for that really quickly in my trackers here. So we will go 6/11 to, I'm just going to abbreviate. There's no account that it's going, that's just cash. We have 25. And that will leave us empty in Memorial Day. And then we'll go to 4th of July. And we'll say 6/11. No account again, plus 25. And 0 in our buffer. So there's that accounted for. We did not spend anything out of Christmas. Medical, I believe we just need to go through and make sure that amounts are the same. I don't have labels on these envelopes yet. I need to get them printed, but we have copays is empty. Deductible is empty. Dental is empty. Am I short an envelope? Copays, deductible, dental. Oh, I just grabbed 2. So then optical is empty. Over the counter was -5, but then I added 5 today, so that just, it's empty. So that's fine. Pharmacy, I believe, is empty. Yep. Supplements is actually a little bit negative, but we'll account for that in June. And then vitamins, again, was negative, but added money, so now it's at 0. So we're good in medical. Very empty. We're working on it. That's the journey that you guys are getting to watch, though. This is my month ahead. I don't have anything in there. Nala, I believe, is good, but let me, whoops. I have these flopped with this one here. So Nala, I believe, so her care is a little empty, or it's a little negative, I mean. Food is empty. Medicine has 2. Yep. So medicine is at 2. Miscellaneous is empty, I think. Yeah. Miscellaneous is at 0. And then treats should have 6. Yep. So we're good there. And then car maintenance will be next, although I am just going to, now that I've got some change, go back to date night and make change for this 50. So I should have 47 in date night now. Okay. Perfect. So we are good there. And then this is my car maintenance binder. I know that last week I did not have ones, so I didn't take out one of these purchases. So I'm just going to make account for that now, and I should be left with 12. My bills are, the bank gives really terrible bills sometimes. that just are very soft, if you know what I mean. So there's care is at 12, that's golden. Deductible is empty. Insurance is empty. And new car is empty. Oil changes is empty. And then registration is one that I'm just going to, so I added money to it today, but the 100 of the 153, I'm going to just transfer that to my high yield savings account and put a placeholder in. And then I'm going to make some change for this to equal 53, although I cannot do the 3 ones right now. So we'll leave it at 150, and then I'll add 3, well, I'll put the 1, and then if I get 2 more ones, I'll put them in there. If not, I'll make a note that I need to add $2. And then repairs should have 3. Yep. You know what? I'm actually going to, I'm going to do a little switch here. So I'm going to take the $3 from repairs and add it to registration. Sorry, I don't know why my dog is barking, if you're even able to hear her in the background. We'll do from repairs, and then we'll go +3, because then I will be able to put everything in there. So we'll have 156. And then I'll put that all back, and I'll grab a 5. So then I don't have to wait for ones. I'll just have the 156. There. Okay, and then repairs will just be empty. I'll account for that here. Okay, 611. Okay, perfect. So that works out well. I believe this is first home and that is future baby, and we did not stuff those. So this binder is all finished. Let me grab my wedding expense tracker so we can make sure that we're good there too. Okay, so this is my binder for wedding expenses. I just want to make sure, let me close up my car maintenance here and then grab my wedding binder. This binder is massive. So bride, this is going, I don't know if you guys will be able to see everything, but I will do my best. We'll do it like that, and a little bit of it might be cut off, but that's okay. Bride dresses, I believe bride should be empty. Yeah, bride should be empty. So dress, shoes is at 0, hair is at 0. I did pay that. Makeup's at 0, and then accessories is actually negative. Alterations is at 0, and then clothes is at 0. So yeah, everything in bride is empty and at 0. Decor is in the negative, so it's empty, and we didn't stuff it this month. Favors is empty. And then food, I believe, is also empty. Yep, food is empty. So we'll skip through all of these food categories. Oh, yeah, drinks is at 0, so that's good. Gifts, though, we're going to probably end up taking some cash out. So bridesmaids should be at 0. Now that we added in that 92. The boys should be, is that 23? 10, 15, oh, 21. So 21, let me just condense this. 21. While we're here, the crew is at 0. And family, we're actually going to add 13 to it. So I added 60, but then after paying a couple of transactions, 13 is what was left. 2 and 3. Actually, like, this one is not that great. So we'll do these 3. So there's 13 there in family, and then we have bride and groom, which should both be empty. Perfect. We did pay for Tanner's tux this month, so that's a little bit negative. Everything else, though, for him should be at 0. His hair, I don't know why it says it should be at 20, but it should be at 20, so there's that. And then, yep, so everything else for him is at 0. Miscellaneous is empty. Stationery, I believe, should also be at 0. And there's one category that I'll need to add some money to in June. It's going to be the miscellaneous stationery. I had to get some paper for gift tags, so I pulled that out of miscellaneous stationery. Okay, tips I know for sure is empty because we did not pay for them and we didn't stuff for them. And then vendors, photographer does have 2,000, but that's money that my parents are paying. Cake is at 0. Flowers are at 0. Let me just make sure. Yep. And then DJ has 1,550, although let me see if I can fix that because my bouquet was 150. So there should be 1,400 in here. So I'm going to pull these out, and I actually need to go grab 2 more $100 placeholders. So I will be right back. Okay, so 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 400 is what is in the DJ, and then we'll have to pay that extra 150. And then rentals, I believe, should be empty. Let me double check. Yes, and then the shower. This is our honeymoon money, and then our shower money is just this one measly little dollar, and it is now at 0. So that is everything that needs to come out. Let's go ahead and give this a, oops, wrong binder. Okay, so that's everything that needs to come out. Let's go ahead and give this a count to see how much we're going to take back to our account. So I guess you guys kind of got like a halfway unstuffing. We have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 80, 90, 200, 10, 20, 5, 35, 45, 46, and 47. So $247 is what's going back into our account. I'm going to grab just a quick thumbnail really fast with my May sheet in here. So grab that little thumbnail. Perfect. And that, I believe, is going to wrap it up for this week's and this month of May, this week's video. I will be getting my June budget with me posted shortly, but I wanted to get this filmed and posted so that we could close out May. And then we'll also need to do a week 1 budget with me and cash stuffing for June, but I will probably do those on Sunday. I think I'm going to try to get that to be my routine. So I'll film on Sundays and then have it post later, maybe Monday and Tuesday. I'll figure all that out. But just a reminder, I do have my launch coming up. I don't have a date, but maybe I should just pick a date so that I have a target. Let me look at my calendar here. So, oops. I am thinking, let's shoot for, what do I have going on? Let's shoot for July 7th, Monday, July 7th, tentatively, that is going to be my launch date for my Etsy store. My Etsy store is live. There just is not a ton on it. So I'm going to be designing and creating a bunch of different products to launch all on July 7th. If anything changes with that date, I will let you guys know. Please just be a little bit flexible with me, just because we are getting very, very close to wedding day. I believe we are at 51 days. 52 actually. Yeah, 52 days until our wedding. So we are just kind of in crunch time. Things are popping up all the time that we need to do. So if I do need to change the date, it's going to probably be because of something wedding related that came up. But tentatively July 7th for launch date for my Etsy store. If there's any products that you guys are wanting to see or wanting to have come to my shop, please let me know. I did create a draft of a teller slip that I'm going to be making, so I might give you guys a sneak peek of that really quickly. You can let me know what you think. Let me grab that really quickly. Okay, so these are my teller slips that I am in the process of fine-tuning. So I'm trying to figure out just kind of how I'm going to go about making these. I did order 3x3 paper and my printer does not like it, so I can't print on it, but I have these that I will sell in a single laminated version, and I'm also going to be making a notepad version. So there will be probably, they're not going to be cardstock. I also didn't even realize that I ordered cardstock. They will just be on a thicker paper, but I'm going to be making notepads of these. So probably like 25, maybe 50, depending on the thickness of the paper. But these will be just a tearaway notepad. That's kind of just a sneak peek of what's going on. Let me see if I can get that a little closer for you guys. So there's a spot for your quantity of how many of each denomination, the total that would equal, and then a spot for the total at the bottom. So if you guys like this design, let me know. If you wish there was another design, also let me know that. But that's just a little sneak peek into my launch that's coming at the beginning of July. And that will wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to see more content, follow along on the rest of our debt payoff and sinking fund catch-up journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you in the next video. Bye.